In many immigrant families, love is often lost in translation. For Lindo Zhang, a Chinese immigrant, her daughter's success in chess is a shared triumph, a reflection of her own sacrifices and cultural pride. But for her American born daughter, Waverly, her mother's suffocating expectations feel like a weapon that strips away her independence. When maternal pride collides with a desperate need for personal boundaries, the result is a quiet, devastating war. From the chapter Rules of the Game in the Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. I no longer played in the alley of the Waverly Place. I never visited the playgrounds where the pigeons and old men gathered. I went to school, then directly home to learn new chess secrets, cleverly concealed advantages, more escape routes. But I found it difficult to concentrate at home. My mother had a habit of standing over me while I plotted out my games. I think she thought of herself as my protective ally. Her lips would be sealed tight, and after each move I made, a soft, would escape from her nose. Ma, I can't practice when you stand there like that, I said one day. She retreated to the kitchen and made loud noises with pots and pans. When the crashing stopped, I could see out of the corner of my eye that she was standing in the doorway. Hmm. Only this one came out of her tight throat. My parents made many concessions to allow me to practice. One time, I complained that the bedroom I shared was so noisy that I couldn't think. Thereafter, my brother slept in a bed in the living room facing the street. I said I couldn't finish my rice. My head didn't work right, my stomach was too full. I left the table with half-finished bowls, and nobody complained. But there was one duty I couldn't avoid. I had to accompany my mother on Saturday market days when I had no tournament to play. My mother would proudly walk with me, visiting many shops, buying very little. "This my daughter, Waverly Zhong," she said to whoever looked her way. One day, after we left a shop, I said under my breath, "I wish you wouldn't do that, telling everybody I'm your daughter." My mother stopped walking. Crowds of people with heavy bags pushed past us on the sidewalk, bumping into first one shoulder, then another. So shame be with mother." She grasped my hands even tighter as she glared at me. I looked down. "It's not that. It's just so obvious. It's just so embarrassing." "Embarrass you be my daughter?" Her voice was cracking with anger. "That's not what I meant. It's not what I said." "What you say?" I knew it was a mistake to say anything more, but I heard my voice speaking. "Why do you have to use me to show off? If you want to show off, then why don't you learn to play chess?" My mother's eyes turned into dangerous black slits. She had no words for me, just sharp silence. I felt the wind rushing around my hot ears. I jerked my hand out of my mother's tight grasp and spun around, knocking into an old woman. Her bag of groceries fell to the ground. "You stupid girl!" my mother and the woman cried. Oranges and tin cans careened down the sidewalk. As my mother stooped to help the old woman pick up the escaping food, I took off. I raced down the street, dashing between people, not looking back as my mother screamed shrilly, "Mei Mei! Mei Mei!" I fled down an alley, past dark curtained shops and merchants washing the grime off their windows. I sped into the sunlight, into a large street crowded with tourists examining trinkets and souvenirs. I ducked into another dark alley, down another street, up another alley. I ran until it hurt, and I realized that I had nowhere to go, that I was not running from anything. The alleys contained no escape routes. My breath came out like angry smoke. It was cold. I sat down on an upturned plastic pail next to a stack of empty boxes. cupping my chin with my hands, thinking hard. I imagined my mother, first walking briskly down one street or another looking for me, then giving up and returning home to await my arrival. After 2 hours, I stood up on creaking legs and slowly walked home. The alley was quiet, and I could see the yellow lights shining from our flat like two tiger eyes in the night. I climbed the 16 steps to the door, advancing quietly up each so as not to make any warning sounds. I turned the knob. The door was locked. I heard a chair moving, quick steps, the locks turning, click, click, click. And then the door opened. "About time we got home," said Vincent. "Boy, you are in trouble." He slid back to the dinner table, on a platter with remains of a large fish, its fleshy head still connected to bones swimming upstream in vain escape. Standing there, waiting for my punishment, I heard my mother speak in a dry voice. "We not concerning this girl. This girl not have concerning for us." Nobody looked at me. Bone chopsticks clinked against the inside of bowls being emptied into hungry mouths. I walked into my room, closed the door, and lay down on my bed. The room was dark, the ceiling filled with shadows from the dinnertime lights of neighboring flats. In my head, I saw a chessboard with 64 black and white squares. Opposite me was my opponent, two angry black slits. She wore a triumphant smile. "Strongest wind cannot be seen," she said. Her black men advanced across the plain, slowly marching into each successive level as a single unit. My white pieces screamed as they scurried and fell off the board, one by one. As her men drew closer to my edge, I felt myself growing white. I rose up into the air and flew out the window, higher and higher. Above the alley, over the tops of tiled roofs, where I was gathered up by the wind and pushed up toward the night sky, until everything below me disappeared and I was alone. I closed my eyes and pondered the next move.